Thank you everybody so much for coming today. I don't know if you saw what I saw this morning driving into work, but what I saw was a bunch of hot air balloons in the beautiful blue skies of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And they were all breaking the law. No, I'm kidding. Actually, that's what we're here to talk about today. The balloons this morning, I think, were really an indicator of what ballooning means to Albuquerque, New Mexico. We are the ballooning capital of the world. And with the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, with some great local companies that we have in the city of Albuquerque, ballooning is prominent here. But we had an issue, and it's interesting because we are going to sign a piece of legislation today that actually finally makes it okay from a zoning code standpoint to take off and land balloons in the city of Albuquerque. And that may seem odd to people, but it's true. It's a situation where about a year ago we had some folks, Scott Appleman being among them, from Rainbow Ryders, who came to us and said, you know, there's really limited ways in the city of Albuquerque that we can take off, limited places that we can take off and land balloons legally, if you will, from a zoning code standpoint. So if we're going to be the ballooning capital of the world, we felt like it was important that we change the zoning code to make sure that it was permissive to do ballooning in a safe and orderly fashion, certainly, but throughout the city of Albuquerque, and that's what we've done. And so today, what I'll be doing is signing City Council Bill O-12-39. It sounds like government, doesn't it? Councilor Michael Cook from District 7 was our sponsor for this bill. He's in the process of getting a tooth fixed this morning, so he sends his apologies, but we're going to have his right hand, Tony DURAN, say a few words in just a couple of minutes. But I think it's really important that we continue to thank those in our community, whether it's the icons that are still with us from a ballooning standpoint, or whether it's the folks that are going out every day and making a living and bringing the economic development opportunities into our city for what you do. Ballooning takes a lot of effort, and the people that are standing behind me know that. These folks do this every day. It's not easy to unroll a balloon, get it going, get it up, get it in the air, land it, fly it safely, get it put back together in your vehicle, and move down the road. But this morning, as I was talking to Scott Appleman from Rainbow Ryders, and I know I've talked to Murray Conrad from World Balloon as well, these are folks that are in town for leisure tourism. They're bringing their money, their disposable income into the city of Albuquerque, and they're leaving it here, and they're leaving with great experiences, great memories. They'll go home and tell their friends all the great things and fun things they got to do in the city of Albuquerque. So what this piece of legislation does, before I sign it, and then I'm going to have several speakers come up, it formulates clear standards for safety and uniformity for balloon launches and landings on a citywide basis. And that was not the case before we signed the bill. It continues to promote and encourage city support for ballooning in Albuquerque. It creates predictability for launches and landings citywide, which is so important to pilots, and I think maybe Scott or one of the other pilots will talk about that here this morning. It preserves economic development within the ballooning community, and it provides for growth and employment within the industry. And it sets an example of what a public-private collaboration looks like that supports community issues such as ballooning. It's been a large undertaking to get this done. As you may imagine, anytime you make a significant change to the zoning code, it's not easy to do. Susie Lubar is here with us today. Susie is our Director of Planning. She worked with Russell Brito, and Matt Conrad's here with us as well. This had to go through the entire zoning process. Two ballooning companies really were on the forefront of this. Well, there's a lot, but several people that brought it to our attention. Scott Appleman is with us today from Rainbow Ryders, and Murray Conrad also, I know, worked very closely with Councilor Cook to make this happen. But I just want to thank everybody for all the work that it took to get us to a spot where we can celebrate what we excel at, and we can make it permissible. We can make sure that when the pilots are in the air, they don't have to take landing into consideration over safety. Now it's a permissive throughout the city. With that, I'm going to bring up Tony DURAN to say a few words, and when we're done, we're going to actually sign the bill. So we'll give everybody time to to get set up to do that as well. But the first speaker today is Tony DURAN. Tony works for Councilor Michael Cook from District 7. Councilor Cook was instrumental in making this happen. He carried the legislation for us at the City Council. He was able to garner a unanimous vote. And if you've ever worked inside of a legislative organization or a legislative body, getting a unanimous vote on anything sometimes can be a chore. But Councilor Cook did a wonderful job of promoting the legislation, promoting ballooning. I'm really sorry he can't be here with us today. We understand he had a tooth issue, and I think he's also the proud grandpapa of a couple of twins, and I think he's heading out to see them as well. But with that, I'll have Tony DURAN come up and say a few words. Tony?
Hi, my name is Tony DURAN. On behalf of City Councilor Michael Cook, we want to thank the mayor and Murray Conrad for bringing this issue towards us. We know that the ballooning is an important issue with New Mexico, and especially Albuquerque. Having this beautiful museum in front of us, we're having this meeting here today, but we want to make sure that ballooning is an important issue going forward, and we want to make sure that it will continue to go forward. And with this piece of legislation, we'll also have a lot of tourists and a lot of locals participate in ballooning, and this will initiate, the initiative to go forward that ballooning is important to Albuquerque, and it's important to New Mexico, and this is what we're about. It's as common as red and green chili, and next thing you know, it's ballooning is the next best thing next to those two beautiful foods. But I wanted to just say a few words that Councilor Cook sends his regrets that he couldn't be here, but this was an important piece of legislation that we were proud to be a part of, and it's important for Albuquerque and for this great state of New Mexico. Thank you.
Next, I'm going to bring up BETH WRIGHT-SMITH. She's with Quad A. She may talk a little bit about Quad A, but if you're not familiar with them, we all know who Sid Cutter was, an icon in our community, a great leader, really on the ground floor of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And if you talk about the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, and I'll bring Scott Cummings up here also with AIBF, this event brings in about $100 million a year to the city of Albuquerque on an annual basis. Let me put that in perspective. If you have the Super Bowl in your city, it brings in about $250 million, they claim. Well, this is like having the Super Bowl in your city every 2 years. So we've got a lot of people to thank for that. But Quad A is such a big organization when it comes to ballooning in Albuquerque. I'd like BETH WRIGHT-SMITH to come up and share a few words with us if she'd be happy to do it. Thanks.
Good morning. I am a balloonist by trade. That's what I do for a living also. So I was one of the balloons that the mayor was mentioning this morning. I fly for a living, but as he said, I'm here to represent the Quad A, the Albuquerque Aerostat Ascension Association, which is the largest balloon club in the world, the largest local club. And people in Quad A have been supporting this change as it went along, and we've had a lot of our members present at the meetings that concerned it. And we are just very, very happy that both the mayor and the city council have supported this change to get rid of this glitch in the city zoning so that we can continue to do the flights that we've been making in Albuquerque for over 40 years. Thank you.
About that. Thank you so much, Beth. Next, I'm going to bring up Scott Cummings. Scott and I have known each other for a long time, and we've done a lot of philanthropy work around the city of Albuquerque, but most importantly, recently, we were at the table working with Paul Smith and the entire AIBF board to craft a new 15-year agreement for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta for the city of Albuquerque. That is vitally important for a number of reasons. We know what the Balloon Fiesta means to the city of Albuquerque, financially, economically, and just from a world status as being the balloon capital. So I want to bring Scott up, and I want to thank him again for his help working through the contract negotiations. We ended up with a contract that benefits AIBF, that benefits the city, that gives us all a chance to succeed. It puts the right carrots in the right spot to incentivize people to continue to invest in this beautiful facility, the balloon park, and to make sure the event stays great. So with that, Scott Cummings, AIBF board member.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, it's great with pride that we all stand here from the ballooning community. I'm a balloonist, been involved with ballooning for many years. I'm a volunteer and serve, as the mayor said, on the board of directors for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And what a great day even to be in this setting. You know, when I arrived early this morning, there was a class of children that came up, and to see the wonder and the awe in their eyes was awesome. And it made me reflect, as the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, one of the greatest events we have each year at Fiesta is Albuquerque Aloft. And so we've taken balloons for years and go to so many schools throughout town. We expose children to ballooning. We have breakfast burritos. Our balloons take off, and it's a wonderful event. We have competitions throughout Balloon Fiesta where balloonists are looking for launch sites all around Balloon Fiesta to fly back in here for competition. And so as a balloonist and as an event, I think it's a great thing. As the mayor also alluded to, you know, when we look at the economic impact that our nonprofit organizations brings to the city, and the independent economic studies say around $100 million a year, about $9 million a year in gross receipts tax and lodgers tax, and we look at this new lease and we look at the bill we're going to sign today, these are decisive actions taken by the city council and by the mayor to ensure the long-term viability of our great event and for ballooning that's so important to our city and our state. And so with that, Mayor, and to the city council, we want to say thank you on behalf of the Balloon Fiesta. Thank you, sir.
And then I'm going to bring up a couple of folks that didn't know they were speaking. I want to bring Sandy Cohen up for just a second. Hey, surprise. I want to talk about, when you walked in today, you're in a place where you see people having fun. You saw a group of first graders when you walked in. You see a balloon museum that actually has come so far in the last couple of years. It's just absolutely fantastic what's going on here. Betty Rivera, who's the head of our Cultural Affairs Department, took it upon herself, at my direction actually, to make sure that there's that we up the attendance at this museum and make sure that there's always vibrant things going on here. Sandy does a great job with that, and I want to invite Sandy up to say a couple things, if that's all right. And we have, come on up. We have the blues festival out here now. We've got the folk festival. We've got all kinds of things going on. So why don't you say just a couple words about the facility, if you will, and then I want to ask Scott to come up and say a couple words as a balloonist as well.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. In fact, this is a good thing in the way I didn't even have time to prepare any bad jokes. Yeah, so yes. I think it's a pleasure to have all of you here today, and one of my priorities, in addition to focusing on trying to expand the museum and build up the museum and take it into the future, was to establish a great relationship with the balloonists here at the ballooning community, learn who they were, what they were all about, and I want this museum to reflect that, because it's very, very important to me to, having come here as an outsider, to really understand the importance of ballooning in Albuquerque and the connection we have together. And it's been my privilege since I've been here, it's been since July, to have established that relationship. It's been a great foundation for the museum, and we're going to continue in the future to really build our exhibits program, in particular to reflect the history, art, science, and culture of ballooning. And the more I get to know you guys, the better I love you, and the greater future I think we're going to have together. So thank you very much for this opportunity. So thank you for coming.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
And last but not least, I want to bring up Scott Appelman from Rainbow Ryders just to talk about the sport and the business of ballooning for just a few minutes, and then we're going to sign the bill. So, Scott.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. Wow, it's weird being here because actually I was a kid at 12 years old that was at the first balloon fiesta over at State Fairgrounds. Now I'm sitting here at the museum celebrating my 30th anniversary in the business with the mayor signing a bill finally making it legal. That's awesome, 40 years later. Anyway, this was a great group effort. It really is. Matt Conrad was marvelous. The Balloon Club, Top Gun, Quad 8, and everybody like that. It takes a lot of people to pull this together. Balloon Fiesta, of course, and trying to make this happen over the last year. So I just want to say thank you very much from that aspect. As far as economic development goes, you know, Rainbow Ryders employs 50 people year-round and up to 200 people during the Balloon Fiesta. So it is a significant financial impact on the city. And we are employing people on year-round. We are doing rides year-round. So we do appreciate the city, the industry, and everybody recognizing that, supporting this bill, and getting us to this point so he can sign this bill. So thanks a lot, and thanks for being here.
All right. Now go out and balloon.